Kind of in winding it up, contrary to what a lot of people think or have said over the years, they say, oh, Heritage is the evil empire. And really, Heritage is a company of 550 people. And people do business with me because they feel comfortable with doing business with me. They do business with Todd because they don't like me and they like him. Or they do business with any of the other 150 specialists. 150 specialists in our 12 offices around the world. They do business with an individual, but they do business with the individual because they like them and they trust them, but they do business with Heritage because they know that there's no games played, there's no phony bidding, there's no late payments, there's no nonsense. And it's our business. We've had the same owners since Steve started the company in '76. We've added partners along the way, but we've never lost one. And so we have continuity of ownership, and it's our name, and it's our business, and it's our money, and we are incredibly proud of it. We spend our time trying to figure out how to continually make our website better, make the client experience better, how to make things work faster and easier, how to expand, how to add new categories. I don't think there's many new categories to add at this point, but we want to grow the size of everybody's pie because we think that that will accrue to our benefit and to the hobby's benefit. If the hobby, whatever the hobby is, increases in size, our business will increase in size. So if we're able to publish articles, publish a magazine, sponsor lectures, whatever it is that we can do to increase the size of one of the 40 collecting fields, we think that rising tide raises all the boats, and to the extent that we have a big boat, that's a good thing. Sotheby started in 1744 and Christie started in 1766. So we've only been around 40 years. Whereas we're certainly the largest coin company in the world, we're also the third largest auction house in the world, behind Sotheby's and Christie's. They're kind of a duopoly. We sell right a little under $1 billion a year. They're, I think, right at about $6 billion a year. If you took modern and contemporary art, old masters, and jewelry out of it, though, we would be larger than they are. They have bet so much of their future on those three categories. We like having 40 categories. Of course, coins are where Steve and Jim, myself, Todd, where we all started. It's our true love. We collect other things additionally, but at the end of the day, Steve and Jim and I are still geeky kids who love coins, and still, when a really amazing coin comes in, it doesn't have to be valuable. It has to be something that's of a condition that you don't normally see. We had a Dahlonega mint gold coin that was gem. And it was worth 5 figures, not 6, or maybe low 6 figures. And we ran that around the office showing it to everybody because you just don't see a coin like that. And those kind of things really still float our boat. We still get excited about it. And we love what we do every day. And I love the friendships that I have for this is my 37th year going to ANA. And JD and I were just talking, and so the Jack Tar show in 1975, so I've been going to coin shows for 41 years. And the best part about it for me now is visiting with my friends. The business just sort of seems to come. If we're there, people know who we are, they know what we do, it comes. And we try to be as helpful as possible, but the most important part is having a fraternity of lovely people. And we're losing some of them now, far too often as we get older, but I couldn't be more grateful to get to do for a living what I did when I was 8 years old. Thank you all very much. I'm kind of an open book, for those of you that know me really well. You can ask me any question you want.
What's the funniest thing that happened
What's the funniest thing?
during your coin career?
The funniest thing that happened to me during my coin career. Wow, I've got a lot of interesting stories, a lot of which I can't repeat here.
Turn the
No.
camera off. They involve JD.
Funniest thing. Wow.
Let him talk.
Let me think of the.
Actually, Greg's the one that told me that all the old Facebook pictures are the best ones, so he should have no shame.
I'm really trying to think of what the funniest one was. I mean, there's funny things that happened back, in 1979 and 80, with coin dealers doing crazy things, but as far as coins themselves, I don't know if it's funny, but I remember that. Okay, here's a good one. This isn't funny, but it's a fun story. I had a store in Seattle. I actually had 3 of them in Seattle, and a relative of President Eisenhower came in, and President Eisenhower, this had passed down through his family, was an original roll of 78S trade dollars. And so, JD, you were grading at PC just then. Do you remember when those coins came in?
I think I know which one.
Yeah, I would recognize them today. And so there was all the gem 78S trade dollars came out of one thing. Okay, here's a good story. When I worked at the coin shop, a man came in with a big vat of crankcase oil, and he had silver dollars in the crankcase oil. And it was an original bag of 92p dollars. And then there were original rolls of 92Os, 93Os, 95Ss. Okay, funny story. Okay, funny story. I knew ones would come. Okay, so when I was 15, okay, funny story. So when I was 15 and working at the coin shop, a fellow called from Temple, Texas, and had a collection to sell. And so the coin shop owner gave me a blank check and put me on an airplane to Dallas and changing planes and to go to Temple. And so I go to Temple and his name was Marvin Fenn. And his son went on to open Fenn Galleries, which is quite a highly respected art gallery in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is now owned by Nedra Matucci. But Marvin Fenn, so this is 1977, Marvin Fenn had a coin collection that I bought for $120,000. And big money then. And the coin shop owner said, well, the Long Beach show is this week. Why don't you fly directly from Dallas to Long Beach? And I'll have a security guard pick you up and take you to the show with all the coins. So these coins weighed a ton. There was original rolls of silver dollars. There was everything under the sun. It was really weighed a lot. So we went to the hardware store and we got a trash can. And we had the hardware store weld a big chain, big chain to each side of the trash can, and then we got a big padlock, and we packed all the coins in the trash can. The problem is we couldn't lift it. So Mr. Fenn, when he took me to the airport, he had like a refrigerator dolly, and we brought it up to Rio Airways, and checked it as luggage. I bought insurance for it, and it got to Dallas, and we were getting ready to board the plane to Los Angeles, and they paged me, and they came up, and it turns out they were loading the trash can onto the Delta airplane, and it dropped, and it broke open. And I actually have photographic proof of this. I have a picture of this. So they wanted me to come down and look, and there's silver dollars all over the runway area, and it's pitch dark at night. So we're picking up all the silver dollars, and they're putting pink strapping tape all around the trash can to try to where it split open. And I'm taking the silver dollars and putting them in my little briefcase. We land at LAX, and it was in their high value cargo department. So the policeman that had been ordered, I don't know if it was, I doubt it was through PPI back then, but the policeman, I went to Delta Airlines Air Cargo Department with the guard. The guard was an off-duty LAPD vice cop. He had hair down his shoulders, he had a leather jacket, he had jeans, he had boots on, and he also had an MG convertible that we were not sure how the trash can and my luggage was going to fit in. So you can't make this story up. We get up to the counter, and the people behind the high-value counter at LAX at Delta see his gun underneath his leather jacket, And before I know it, a guard has come around from behind the counter and is drawn on this guy, thinking he was holding me up, and ordering him to the ground. Thinking the undercover cop. He looked like a straight person. He did. He looked like a drug dealer. Yeah. And I'm like, no, he's a policeman. He's a policeman. He's like, get my ID. So finally got through that and got the trash can loaded into the car. The top would not go up. And on the way to Long Beach, it started pouring rain. And I was staying at the Vagabond Motel at the time, which a lot of people are nodding their head, which was the only place to stay, really. It was better than the City Center Motel or the Travelodge. It was the best place in town. I had good taste even then. And dealers were waiting to look through the coins that I bought, and one of them took a picture of me with my dripping wet burgundy Kiana shirt and gold chain around my neck, and this crushed trash can. And I ran across the picture a couple of years ago. I need to find it at home. But
You should put it in a catalog, really.
anyway, okay. I'm sorry I took so long on the first question, but that was any other questions? Yes, Jimmy.
I'm going to do a commercial for you. Since I know Steve and Jim so well, but I had 2 items totally unassociated with anything I would collect. And instead of calling them or having them lead it, I just went to your webpage and found the person who was the specialist in that. His name's Frank Hetty.
Yep.
His 2 things. I called him and just talked to him, and then I sent him pictures, and then I sent it to him, but his email came back instantly. Then the follow-up came instantly. Then the follow-up after that came instantly. And I assure you, I never mentioned to him that I knew any of you or collected anything in the world. So
Thank you.
It is exactly what you were saying earlier, and he certainly didn't know if I had one item of any value whatsoever at the time he began talking to me.
We run the
Mrs.
company.
Guzman, by the way, is fabulous.
She is. She runs our New York office. I live in New York most of the time. I have a home in Dallas. My wife and I go back and forth. We have a home in New York as well. And I'm the heritage owner that I was the first partner that Steve and Jim took on 16 years ago. And now there's half a dozen additional partners. But I'm the partner that's in charge of our New York office, and the lady that Jimmy refers to, Kathleen Guzman, is our managing director there.
Steve Ivey told me later she's the den mother.
She's the best manager we have.
That's what he said. She's the den mother.
She's fantastic. But the instantaneous email you got back probably is because we obsessively run our company by email, and it's the only way with this many people and this many categories and this many time zones. There's probably not too many hours in the day that there isn't a heritage partner somewhere in the world that's looking at email, and all the managers know they can get a pretty quick decision. You know, I know it's easy for me to say, but we don't think we're bogged down in bureaucracy at all. We make decisions pretty fast, and we make them collaboratively. We don't make them based on who has how many shares. We make them as a group and listen to whoever has the most expertise in that category. Steve, thank you. Tom?
Yeah, Greg, from an ethical standpoint, looking back on your career, was there 1 or 2 individuals that you looked at that you tried to model your lifestyle, or let's say how you conduct yourself in the coin business?
That's a very good question. I would say that we just lost one of those people. Gene Henry was the largest coin dealer in Seattle. He was larger than life for those who knew them. And Gene made friends everywhere he went. And I saw that by making friends and being casual and having a good time and going to dinner and being social, how much business Gene did. He wasn't the smartest coin dealer in the world. I'm not the smartest coin dealer either. But Gene did a lot of business and was very successful by being a hell of a nice guy. And he was in great shape. He dropped dead playing tennis at 73 years old. It was a tragic loss for those of us who were good friends of his. But I would say that I probably looked at him the most. You know, he had the biggest effect on me because I spent the most time with him when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. Yeah. Yes, Scott.
Do you think it's possible for Heritage to disrupt Sotheby's and Christie's stronghold on Impressionist and Old Master art, and what might enable that?
No, I
No,
don't.
it's not possible. You think the
No, I don't think so.
monopoly is too sorry. Sorry, too attractive.
I think they've been selling them for hundreds of years, and we would be starting from zero. Do I think that we would do as good a job, if not better, on individual paintings that people bring us? Yeah, because I think they take that business for granted. And people oftentimes bring us things, and the first question they say is, why should I go with you guys other than Sotheby's and Christie's? I said, well, for the most part, the reason is because their overhead structure is such that they are really focused on $50 million Rothkos, $100 million Giacomettis, $10 million, $15 million Monet paintings. They have to be. I wish we had, that would be great if we had that business, but we don't. We have business that is generally in the $5,000 to $5 million range, which is also more recession-proof than their business, which if you read some of the press releases and shareholder calls lately, you know, the air's pretty thin over 5 million currently. So we are less recession-proof. And they do a very good job at selling big pictures. But for people that have normal run-of-the-mill $5,000 to $5 million items, that's what we specialize in. So why take what you've got to somebody who doesn't really specialize in it? I mean, your collection. We had a good point is Frito-Lay Company, part of Pepsi-Cola, had a wonderful art collection, and they were going to go with one of the other two auction houses. And we gave them estimates that were very similar. And one of the pictures that they had, we set a record for a work on paper for a Bruce Nauman at $775,000. But they realized that this is a wonderful collection. The other two houses would put them in the catalog. They'd sell them. They'd send them a check on time. No muss, no fuss. But they wouldn't get any special attention. They wouldn't be a featured collection on our website. They wouldn't be mentioned in our magazine. Management wouldn't know about it. Owners wouldn't know about it. It was a seven-figure collection, but it's not enough to hit their radar. So it's perfect. We have a perfect niche. We're not trying to be Sotheby's and Christie's. We're trying to keep doing better at what we do. Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you very, very much.